Welcome everybody to Agent Investor, the only brand that helps real estate agents get off the real estate roller coaster. And we talk about the agent investor model a lot. Today, I'm going to speak specifically about how to get more seller appointments. And I'm going to speak specifically about the call to action that I know that I've tested and used for the past 10 years, how to get you more seller appointments. Why do we want seller appointments? I mean, it should be kind of obvious, but if you follow me for long enough, you kind of know what we talk about with the agent investor model. And the agent investor model is that you continue to sell real estate for a living. Step number one is to continue selling real estate for a living. Step number two is to find fix and flip opportunities that you make big chunks of income so that for step number three, you can take those big chunks of income and then invest in passive assets that pay you forever. That's how you get off the real estate roller coaster. When I work with people or for people that listen to me, my objective for all of you is to help you get 10 or 15 or 20 or $30,000 of passive income coming in each and every month. Most people say they can't buy assets, they can't invest in real estate because they don't have capital. Well, if you're able to generate a bunch of seller opportunities, get in the homes of people, 20% of all of those sellers are going to be interested and take a cash offer. When they take a cash offer, you can fix and flip the house yourself, or you can partner with us for big chunks of income. The average fix and flip profit when we flip a property is $80,000. If we partner with you, that means you're going to get 40 grand. You now have 40 grand that you can invest into a passive asset. But in order to do all of that, the starting point is to generate more seller opportunities. So seller opportunities, like I already alluded to, seller appointments lead to fix and flip deals. But in addition, getting off the real estate roller coaster isn't just about earning passive income. It's also about building a business that gives you your time back, your freedom back, and makes you money. And seller opportunities and listings are a much better way to do that, right? If you have, and I know, again, I'm probably preaching to the choir, but if you have the opportunity to work with a buyer or take a great listing, you're going to take a great listing all day long, right? Buyers are going to tell you when they want to see a house versus a listing. You can set the time for the open house. You can have other people work the open house. You can leverage that property. So there are so many reasons why we want seller appointments, because they're going to get us more listings. With all the NAR settlement stuff, you don't know what's going to happen with buyer commission. So, hands down, all of us know the phrase list to last. We want seller opportunities over buyer opportunities. But that begs the question, and it brings into the topic for today, how do we actually get those? How do we get seller opportunities? And the phrase call to action is basically, what is the marketing message? What is the phrase? What is the attraction for somebody to open up their front door, invite you into their living room, and let you into their home? Yes, your close friends and your family, if they know that you're in real estate and they're thinking about selling their house or listing their house, or maybe if they know you're an investor, they'll invite you in to make an offer on their property. But outside of the people that already know, like, and trust you, how do you generate more opportunities? How do you generate more opportunities than what's just going to come to you based on the people that you know? And so that brings into question, what prospecting method are you going to use? Like, if you're going to generate seller opportunities, are you going to use social media? Are you going to do mailers? Are you going to do calls? Are you going to do text messages? Are you going to knock on doors? Whatever it is that you're going to do, are you going to leave a door hanger on a door? Whatever type of marketing activity that you're going to do, you need a message. You need a reason that person should open their front door and let you in, and that's the call to action. So I want to talk quickly about the call to action that is really the most common for most real estate agents, which is the home valuation. So, again, I'm a broker owner. I have over 400 agents in my office. I have actually personally done a lot of home valuation marketing, like whether I, do social media, boost ads on Facebook, click here to find out the value of your home, or send a mailer, call this phone number to get a value of your home. That is the most common seller call to action that's out there. But what I found, because I'm also an investor, I'm also out there looking for fix and flip opportunities, is that the message that you put in front of people, whether it's on social media, whether it's face to face, whether it's a door hanger, whether it's a call, whether it's a text message, matters a lot. And what I found, because I've run both of these businesses and then merged them together, is that the cash offer call to action will get you in the door much more frequently than saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you a home valuation." And I want to talk about first what those messages kind of sound like, and then I also want to talk about like the reasons, the psychological reasons why, or the tactical reasons why people are more likely to let you in the door when you have an offer for them rather than comps to show them what their property might be worth. So again, getting to the first part of this, like what is the call to action actually sound like? When it comes to the home valuation, it's really simple. So again, regardless of where you're putting this message out there, whether you put it on your own personal social profiles, whether you boost an ad, whether you buy, home valuation leads. There's companies that sell home valuation leads. Whether you do a mail or call, it doesn't really matter. The call to action, the phrasing that you're using is basically, click here to get a value of your home. And then, if they're clicking there, they're going to give you their phone number, their email, or whether they're calling, they're going to give you a call, and then you're going to explain to them how you're going to do the home valuation. Like we all know, like we don't really want to do this research and, give somebody an email or, send somebody a text message of what the value of their house is. The objective is to actually get in their home. So when you're, generating home valuation leads, somebody's got to be interested in the home value option, and then you've got to convince them why you need to get into their house to do the home valuation, which, it sounds pretty simple. I mean, if somebody wants to know the value of their house, you would think, well, it's pretty easy, to explain to somebody that in order to do a real valuation of what their home is worth, you need to get into it to take a look at it. However, reason number one why home valuation calls to actions don't work that well is this online valuation system called Zillow and Trulia and Redfin. So, as I'm recording this, 2024, the vast majority of sellers that own a home believe that Zestimates, believe that a Redfin estimate is accurate. In fact, some of them believe it's 100% correct, right? But even if they don't believe it's 100% correct, if somebody wants a home valuation of their property, it is very easy and painless for them to just go on Zillow or Trulia or Redfin, type in their address, and get that result spit back to them. Now, some of these sellers are actually going to believe that it's 100% accurate, and some of them know it's not 100% accurate, but they believe that it's somewhere in the ballpark, which I would agree with. It's usually somewhere in the ballpark, right? Yeah, it's not going to be accurate, but it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark. So if your call to action is, I'm going to give you a home valuation, and you're calling and you're mailing, you have to think about it from the other person's perspective as the seller. So they're thinking in their head, do I really want to get my house ready, clean my house, organize stuff, maybe even do a repair or two before somebody comes over, let this stranger, in my house, or do I want to just click a button online? Okay, so from that perspective alone, the vast majority of sellers who might be curious about what their property is worth are not going to go through the trouble, the hassle of bringing somebody in. typically not going to do it, right? And again, what's the objective of the call to action? It's to get in their living room, right? Now let's talk about how that differs when you say, "Hi, I have got an offer on your home. Like I have a legitimate offer. Like I want to bring an offer to your house that you can look at, that you can review, that you can think upon." Okay? Well, it's great to know what an agent might think the value of my home is, but an offer is always going to be 100% real, right? Meaning that I know that Zillow could tell me my house is worth $400,000. But if somebody comes into my house and offers me, say, $420,000, that's probably a more real estimate of what my house is worth than anything else. And when it comes to getting an offer on your home, people are curious. Like, most sellers don't understand the cash offer business. They don't know how it works. They don't know how the values, might come in. And they want to know, like, oh, maybe my house is worth, sometimes they think their house is going to be worth more than this estimate. Well, maybe this person who mailed me or called me or texted me or left a door hanger, maybe they want my property for development purposes. Maybe there's some reason why they want to be in this specific neighborhood. Maybe they have a buyer that lost out on a home. And so it kind of like piques their curiosity, right? Again, we're doing the apples to apples comparison of the call to action. One call to action says, let me come out to your house. You open your door. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to tell you what I think your house is worth based on the comps. The other is, let me come out to your property. Let me look around and let me actually make you an offer. If you're just any random person, any random human, you're going to be more attracted to what the offer might be. Even, by the way, if you're not really legitimately thinking about selling, right? Again, what is the reason for the call to action? It's to get in the door, right? You might actually spur somebody to start thinking about maybe potentially considering an offer on your house by having that call to action. Hey, I'm just calling to let you know I'm a local home buyer. I buy homes in your area. I'd love it if you let me into your house to make you a no obligation offer, right? That might spur somebody that wouldn't even maybe normally be thinking about selling their house to say, hey, wonder what this person might offer me. There's a lot more curiosity behind it than, oh, what's the valuation of my house, when I can just go on Zillow or Trulia or Redfin. So you're going to get, again, why are we talking about this? Because we are trying to say, if we're going to put in time, effort, and energy to generate seller opportunities, we want to get in the door as much as possible. We want to actually shake hands, get in their living room, and talk to a seller about selling their house, regardless if they're selling right away, or maybe they're selling a year from now or 2 years from now. We're adding that person to our database. Obviously, every face-to-face interaction is worth much more than if somebody just says, hey, I want you to send me a comp of what my property's worth, right? That happens. There's no rapport built. There's really nothing that you get out of it per se. Another major reason why the cash offer call to action will get you in the door so much more than if you just say, hey, I'm an agent and here's my valuation. Here's what I want to do to tell you what your home is worth. So the vast majority of people, sellers and buyers alike, the vast majority of people that are out there know an agent. In fact, the vast majority of people know more than one agent. So if you are mailing somebody, or you're calling somebody, you're texting them, or you're running an ad on Facebook, or you're, posting something on your own social media account, and the person that sees it knows 3 or 4 other agents, and maybe they feel like, well, this agent I had a relationship with 4 or 5 years ago, maybe I still like them. Maybe they're the person I would call to value my home. Like, I'm not going to let Tom, yeah, he mailed me something, or he called me, or he texted me, but I'm not going to let him in my house to do a valuation. If I'm going to do a valuation, then I'm going to call Kim, who I worked with 5 years ago. Okay. So we can understand that if you're running some sort of home valuation call to action and somebody else already knows an agent, you can see why they might want a home valuation, but why are they going to have you do the home valuation when they know that some other agent can do the exact same thing? However, let's compare that to the cash offer call to action. And we get this all the time, where we've mailed, called, texted, door hang, whatever, somebody posted on social media, ran a social media ad where somebody sees it and they're like, geez, this person's going to come out to my house and make an offer. And oh, by the way, if they take the offer, they don't have to pay an agent, right? We all know that there are many people out there. In fact, who would want to pay an agent if they don't have to? Nobody wants to pay a commission if they don't have to. So a lot of sellers are curious to know what a cash offer would be without having to go through the hassle of listing their house and paying an agent. Because really, who wants to even list their house when they can just sell directly? So what happens in a lot of cases is that we go out to a home where we've mailed or we've ran an ad online. We go into the home and we're providing them with an offer. Now, they already know an agent, but in a lot of cases, they don't have a tight relationship with that agent. We get the opportunity to go into their living room, have a great conversation, build rapport, maybe get them to know, like, and trust us and say, Kim that I worked with 5 years ago, I did like her, but now that Tom is in front of me, I actually like what he has to offer a lot more. Again, going back to the top of this conversation, 2 out of 10 sellers that see a cash offer call to action and call for an offer are going to take the cash offer. 8 out of 10 that want to sell their house are actually going to end up listing their home. So this was something I found out, not trying to get more listings. My objective when I run a cash offer ad is to buy homes. But what I found by default is that by getting out with more sellers, some of which, 80% of which don't want the cash offer, my company and my team is taking more listings. Okay. So again, compare that to the home valuation call to action. You're going to get yourself in the door much more because of the differentiation that's there. And again, that's really, what it's all about. If a seller knows another agent, you want an angle, if at all possible, to be able to get into the door, right? So, and I know that what I've said so far, you might be wondering, okay, well, I get it. And it makes sense, right? I think everybody that's listening, to this would get that a cash offer call to action is going to get you in the door more. But then it begs the question, well, what do I do if somebody wants a cash offering? I'm an agent that maybe I don't have the ability. Maybe I can't buy a house. And that's where our partnership program comes in. So as all of you know, if you've listened to my podcast or you've listened to any of my lives or been on my email list, we will actually go out and we will go to the appointment with you. So keep in mind, if you get somebody and you do any form of cash offer marketing, whether it's a mailer, door knocking, social media, whatever you do, and then somebody says, yeah, I do want to hear, what that cash offer sounds like. Our team will actually come out to that appointment with you. We will meet the seller with you and we will provide them with a cash offer. So if you followed my partnership program, information for long enough, which I'm sure a lot of you have, if they accept the cash offer, we're going to buy the property, we're going to flip the property, and then we're going to split the profits with you, the agent. Now, we know that if we go on these appointments 80% of the time, they're going to end up wanting to list their home, which is great for you because it's a win-win for you. It's actually a win-win for the seller as well, because the seller is going to get the benefit of knowing what the cash offer is. They're going to get the benefit of knowing, well, if I list my home and for whatever reason, I don't get the number I want, if I have an inspection that doesn't go the way that I want, that I am going to be able to take this cash offer that Tom and his team have provided to me. So, do you have to bring us on every appointment? No, but if you're going to do a cash offer call to action, you probably want to have a legitimate cash offer out there. You don't really, you definitely don't want to do it as like a bait and switch. You could use this as a tool to get more listings, which you will, but I don't think you want to go into the appointment with somebody wanting an offer and then you just walk in the door and just try to convince them to list their home, right? You're going to end up, making them mad. They're going to be frustrated, and then they're gonna, they're not going to list with you if you're kind of using it as like a bait and switch. So we will always come out. We will always make an offer. And for those of you who might be, newer to, what we do, and you don't know much about our partnership program, I talk about it a lot on here, so I'm not going to cover it in big detail. But if you want to learn more, just make sure you jump on our next call at www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. Again, that's www.partnerwithagentinvestor.com. But high level summary here, again, when you are marketing and you are spending time, effort, and energy, you always want to have a magnet. You want to have the best magnet that's pulling people towards you. And the whole, premise of what I said today is just that the cash offer call to action, having somebody know that they have an offer for their house is a lot more powerful than saying, I have a home valuation for you, right? So I don't want to, this is all I've got for today. I know this was quick, but I hope it is powerful and something that you can implement into your business immediately. And again, where you would use it on your own social media posts. Hey, we make offers on homes. Again, whether it's boosted ads, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's a mailer, whether it's a call, whether it's a text, or whether it's just you talking to your sphere of influence and saying, hey, not only do I help people list their homes, but I also buy homes directly from sellers. So let me know if there's a seller that that might benefit from learning about what a cash offer on their home would be. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you want to learn more about the partner program or ask me questions live, every week I do a live call where you can ask as many questions as you want. And you can do that by going to www